Rob, thank you for joining us. Another exciting game to look forward to this weekend as we welcome Huddersfield to the Broadfield Stadium. Can I get your thoughts ahead of that game?
Yeah, it's going to be finishing off a tough week with probably the toughest game. Obviously, Huddersfield are excellent, really well organised, really powerful, and play good football as well. So yeah, we know it's going to be a difficult test for us, but this is exactly what we want. We want to be playing against teams like Huddersfield. We want to be testing ourselves against the best and the biggest teams in the league. And I think the confidence we take in the last few games, the last 4 games, etc. We need to take that forward and keep improving on what we're working on. We had a good review today, and the concepts are starting to get in with the lads. And I thought we finished the game so well on Tuesday. And we said that might be the case sometimes. If you've got that much control on your possession-based team, it takes time to break teams down. And obviously, we'd like to affect the goal a lot more in the first half and be cleaner. But as long as we see that improvement, we keep getting better. And I just want us to attack the game on Saturday.
Yeah, and I suppose we'll take a lot of confidence from the home game against Lincoln. Going into a game like this for the last time, one of the promotion chasers, came here. We absolutely tore them apart and won 3-0. So there's plenty of confidence to take from our last few outings, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely. I think the reflection in Northampton is that we weren't as good as we could be, but it was ultimately 2 poor set pieces that let us down. And something we've improved on, something the players have taken huge responsibility on to, in understanding that 40% of the goals we've conceded have come from set plays. So I think we ranked 6th or 7th in the league for open play conceding goals from open play. So it's probably saying to the lads that we are good defensively and we're solid, but there are areas we need to improve on, and we're highlighting them and we're trying to work on them. And that's all credit to the players because they've really bought into it, and still things need to clean up, but that's football. There's always going to be grey areas. We just got to try and minimise them grey areas, and it's going to be a really good opportunity for us to do it against a very good team on Saturday.
Yeah, football's often quite hard to sort of break down from an outside point of view because people are always going to be angry that perhaps we weren't scoring goals, but we have to take a lot of confidence from not conceding goals either. That is such a big part of football, is keeping clean sheets. So lots to be proud about there from Tuesday as well, because we defended set pieces, as you say, brilliantly then, and also open play as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a strange dynamic. You concentrate on one thing in football and something else slips, and vice versa. So initially, we felt that getting the team's goal scoring opportunities and getting more goals was one of the first things to identify, which I feel like we have done. Obviously we're disappointed not to score on Tuesday, but I feel like the goals and the opportunities are more forthcoming. But then the other side of it, we want to, being down the bottom of the table, let's be honest, we want to keep the ball out of the net more, and it's something we've got more solid at. I think obviously, like you said, at Lincoln, the set pieces were the things that we needed to make sure we smoothed out. Maidenhead was probably just an individual area from our best player on the pitch, Joy, which is fine by me because he was trying to do the right things on a difficult surface, and I thought his reaction was brilliant, and he was exceptional again Tuesday. So it's trying to get that nice balance between keeping him out at one end and really forcing the ball into the final third in the other end. So look, it's not going to be clean, it's not going to be perfect every time, but as long as we see them consistencies, we feel like we are threatening the goal more, and we feel like we're getting a bit more solid, then we'll take them little wins, we'll just keep improving on them.
Yeah, and I suppose the confidence is going to be a big part because, as you say, Huddersfield play some great football, but do you think sometimes these games can often be the ones that not necessarily easier to win, but there's probably more pressure on Huddersfield than there is on us in many elements, so do the lads sort of thrive on that, do you think?
I think that what this group do is they thrive on testing themselves against the best teams, especially when it comes to the footballing side of the game, so in terms of the possession, in and out of possession. I think what the lessons we've got to learn is that we are a very good footballing team, but we need to make sure to really threaten teams, we threaten the goal, and to make sure that we defend as well as we possibly can when they have the ball or in transitions or set pieces, because teams at this level are ruthless, which we found out physically and technically, and obviously with decisions in terms of you get punished a lot more for one switch off, and that's what happens every time you go up a level. You go up another level to the Championship, it's even more, and the Premier League obviously is the epitome of it. So no, it's a good test for our character, and it's something that, again, all I want going forward is us to attack the game as a group, be positive, be aggressive, and when we do have moments where the ball turns over, we get back and we work hard together to win it back, and if we do give it away, we go and chase it. Lost my thought there. We press and we get after the ball as soon as we possibly can, because we want to be positive in everything we do, whether it's after a mistake or after good play. We keep being positive.
Definitely. Well,
Lost the ability to speak there, didn't I? Which is like me.
Yeah, just going on the pressure thing, because I was speaking to someone from Huddersfield this week who said for the first season in ages, they're expected to win every game they play. Yeah. How do you try and take advantage of that? Is that something you can use with your players in the sort of pre-match meetings and that?
I think, I think the Huddersfield will obviously be on their own journey, and it's different from, it's a strange thing because you get relegated, you lose every week, you expect to win every week, and it's a culture that you maybe haven't had. You get promoted, you've won every week, or you've won consistently well, and then you go into a division where it's probably harder to win every week, and you have to deal with that. So both of us probably have had to deal with different mentalities and different concepts, which is something that takes time to adjust to, takes fans time to adjust to, takes clubs and everyone. But no, I think that the biggest thing for me is this is getting promoted for these reasons. We want to, clubs like Huddersfield come into the Broadfield, come into us, and we want to go and implement and show people what we're about, what this club represents, and who we are as people and players, and the culture that we've got. So that's what I'm looking forward to, as the players testing themselves in that environment as best they can. And and I think that's all the message will be, is go and show why, even though we might have been 2 leagues apart last year, we're in the same league now. We need to go and show why we deserve to be in this level, competing with teams like Huddersfield.
Yeah, and how much of a part can the fans play on Saturday as well?
Yeah, massive. Like you said, the after the Lincoln game, it was huge, getting the fans behind us and obviously getting the goals, and it pushed us on to get the win late on, especially when we come under pressure against the very good Lincoln team. So it's going to be massive, and I thought the reception from the fans who travelled on Tuesday was brilliant. Like I said, I got a little bit carried away, which I don't always do, but it was great to see that the fans were right behind us. They were encouraging lads all the way through, singing at the end when the players were walking off, because ultimately there's only one team that were going to win the game at the end of the game, and I think they showed that the players just got better and better and give everything they could to, one, keep the clean sheet, which I think they did brilliantly well, but two, push to win the game. And the mentality was, and it didn't quite happen, but I think if we maintain that momentum and retain that mindset, then we'll definitely get there.
Yeah. You don't seem to have had much luck with injuries since you've arrived. I've listed a few players: Josh Junior, Jay, Jojo, Dion, Eddie. Can you give us any updates on any of those? Are any of them likely to be back Saturday? Or
no, I don't. I think we are as we were. That is what it is. I think stepping up to levels, people putting their bodies on the line, knocks, injuries. Jojo took a really heavy collision, so we need to do the right thing, especially when it comes to head injuries and concussion protocols. So we have to respect that anyway. So Jojo will be out until after Saturday. Look, that's the nature of the beast. Sometimes when things tend to go against you more, or when you are down the bottom and things go against you, you tend to feel it more. And obviously we'd rather have all them players available, but I genuinely believe in this squad, and this squad of players have performed brilliantly over the last 5 or 6 days, 7 days, and it's another opportunity for them to do the same. And I think the big thing for me was the squad input in terms of everyone played their part. It wasn't just a case of one standout player, although there were some exceptional performances like Max Anderson and Bradley. I think that it was the squad that drove us on second half. The lads who come on, Pan, Rushy, Addy, were absolutely exceptional. Toller, when he comes on with his physicality, he was really unwell but still come on and never complained. So hopefully we'll have as fresh as a squad as possible, because there's a bit of cold and flu around, and we'll give it our best go on Saturday and try and make the fans proud. Yeah, and then on Tuesday you've got Wycombe in the EFL Trophy. With what's going on with the squad with injuries and that, is it a game you could do without? Am I allowed to say yes? Listen, look, I've not been in the Football League as a coach long enough, but as a player I didn't like them games, I'll be honest. Yeah. Because I just felt that, there's 46 games plus, you're nearly playing 50 games a season, and then you have these competitions which are geared towards probably under 21s players more than it is geared towards our players. But it does give opportunities for players to play games, and I do think it's worthwhile. But just the scheduling is obviously tough when it's Saturday, Tuesday, and it tops off another one before an international break when you have international players away. So even that doesn't help. But look, it's not a criticism; it is what it is. We'll just have to use it as an opportunity to get players minutes, whether we can get Ty some minutes, which will be good. We need to monitor his fitness. He's out for sort of 9-10 months without being on grass, so we need to make sure if he does come back and if he does get minutes on Tuesday, that's acceptable for him. And any players that do need a top up, so we'll use it as best we can. And look, we'd always look to win it though. Once the game starts, you want to win it. So and obviously you have to have one mind on Bristol Rovers as well. So still a chaotic 10 days to go before we get at least a normal week to week. Yeah, and obviously January's coming around quite quick.
Have you already started planning any kind of players you want to bring in? And is there anywhere in particular you think you need to strengthen?
I think that January windows, it's always an interesting one because it's more the one that's less likely to have things done. It's more done last minute, to be brutally honest, because the season's ongoing and situations change. So look, you have to do your due diligence, and you always have to be aware of the sort of things you want to implement. But look, if we can, because of the injuries, if we can strengthen, then we will. But it needs to be the right people, and it needs to be people that will influence the group and the right characters, especially. This is a really good group, really young group who are working hard for each other and buying into the journey. It's been tough, but they're still plugging away and they're still working hard and doing everything they can, putting their bodies on the line. So anyone who comes in has to meet that minimum requirement. And obviously, if we can find players who can come in and help us and give us more of a chance, and we will. But we won't do it just for the sake of it. It needs to be people that will come in and help us. So that was one of the reasons Ty come in. We identified him, and he is a very, very talented lad. And if we can get him fit, then he's going to be a big help to us. So I think we'll just assess as we get close to the window and then take it from there.
Brilliant, thanks Rob.
No worries.